Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is White Lightning. Welcome back to Principles of Empire War, playing as the New Republic in the Thrawn's Revenge mod. Last time, we were able to conquer the planets of Bomiscori and Vondark from the Empire. Recently, Ariadu Authority planets flipped to the Empire. We did turn on cruel AI, so the AI is going to get a lot harder and more aggressive. We saw the first indicators of that with this Greater Maldruid fleet attacking the New Republic planet of Tynna here. We were able to get our little task force that was over Tynna out in time before this overwhelming force arrived. They don't have an interdictor here, so we would have been able to retreat anyway. But what I chose to do instead was attack the planet of Emberline, which this fleet would have had to come through, because Talasia, neutral, potential Imperial aligned, but not controlled by an Imperial faction planet. And instead we sent them over to Emberline. My hope is, and I have no idea of verifying this, my hope is that we have trapped the ground forces that the Maldruid was going to send our direction on the ground at Emberline, or potentially even farther behind enemy lines. So hopefully those guys are blockaded. Hopefully these guys are just going to sit out here. We will see the proof of that in the near future here. But I'm looking at this fleet here. The Maldruid sent, it is 180 population. I'm looking here at Ackbar's fleet, and it is 236 population, so we could beat that if we wanted to. So it's too late to save the planet if we're going to try to send a fleet up there. If the ground forces are en route, they're going to get there within the next few seconds probably. But I am going to switch Ackbar and Nance places here, and then we'll use Nance. Oh, nope, there it is. Yeah, okay, that was really quick to find out. Okay, so I'm not going to fight over Tynna. I don't, well, Now this is a great question. They have 6 army troopers. They have a Navy commando, an Imperial jump trooper, and then just one set of vehicles. So they're going to outnumber us. But if we play this smart, we might be able to win here. And if we spend some money, we might be able to win. The question is, at what cost? At what point is it worth it? And I think the answer is at some point. So I'm going to cancel some construction. I did queue up a little bit of construction in between episodes just to move that portion along so you guys can stop seeing me agonize over which buildings I'm going to build where. We are building up still economically here on some of these backline planets, trying to get their slots filled and then double taxed. But for now, with 1,500 credits, I think this is probably a good time to try to defend here on the ground of Tynna. So let's go ahead and begin, and let's see if we can hold out against this admittedly quite small Maldruid ground force. I'm going to have a few vehicles, more than them, frankly. And let's see here. Okay, taking a look at the map, we have our 2 structures here for our base. We have our units that are automatically spawning in, our infantry. And then, yeah, like I say, more vehicles than they would have. I think the key here is going to be, we have a level 2 command post, so that's going to be good for a field emplacement. This is, how many points? 3 points, so that'll be good for a field emplacement. There are a couple of capturable factories, and I think those are probably worth running dudes out to try to capture. So let's send them out immediately. And then if I were the Maldruid, I would rush for this command post here, and they are closer to it than we are. We're gonna have to be careful. We're gonna have to pick our fights kind of carefully. And yeah, so what do we do here? I don't know, guys. Heck if I know. This is a pretty small force. I'm curious to see if there are some turrets potentially. We need to pick a spot to make our last stand. And honestly, I don't normally do this, but holding back a little farther, closer to the base, I don't think seizing these landing zones is going to do us any good, and we lack the speed to get units up to them quickly. So I don't think that'll be super helpful. I think we are going, I know I'm hemming and hawing a lot. I think we're going to build up some anti-infantry turrets. Or maybe an anti-infantry turret and a repair pad. Ooh, and there's a couple of build pads up there. So we may be able to get up there, and if they come from this direction, if they come from the right, we're kind of hosed, but if they come from the left of the base up in this direction, that's some double turrets there, that's going to be pretty powerful. So what I could do is seize these command posts, which I told you about the field emplacements last time. We could build a big turbo laser tower here, but with this attacking army from the Maldruid side not having many vehicles in it, the turbo laser towers are not going to be that great against just infantry, which is what they're going to be sending at us. So yeah, we've got repairs back here for vehicles. We've got anti-infantry turrets here. I think I'm going to do the same thing here, frankly. And I might actually... Yeah, I might actually sell this and turn this into another anti-infantry turret. Okay. And we are securing this factory, which is going to have some armored assault tanks, so that's not bad. I'm going to grab this, and oh, AATs. Okay, yeah, excellent. Okay, so these guys are dead. They are definitely outnumbered and not going to be able to ford this river in time. Yep, double squad of Maldrude infantry caught them. Okay, that's fine. That is also interesting because it means they are coming from that direction. Ooh, AATs. If you guys could take out these RTTs, reconnaissance troop transporters, sooner rather than later, that would be cool. Let's pull this guy back a little bit, if we can. And then, yeah, so this will be all the vehicles that the Maldrude has in their inventory in this fight, period. Awesome. Okay, run on down here and you can heal up. And here comes some more infantry. They're not going to be super effective probably against these AATs. The AATs are not bad vehicles. They've got AI blasters mostly, as well as AV, so kind of dual role here. You get out of there if you can before getting blown up. Run, 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 run. Oh, no, they got the one. Dang it. Should have maybe sent him ahead so he'd be a little faster and more agile there. They are sending that set of infantry, or that set of units down here. They will run right into this anti-infantry turret though, so I think I'm going to leave our forces there for right now. And I'm going to send this guy around and see this unit of infantry, this squad, and see if we can capture an additional anti-infantry turret as they come down. Okay, you guys can go ahead and pull back. What I need to start being on the lookout for now is if they send in a bombing run to hit this location, because this is going to be prime location for the AI to bomb. If I was them, that's where I'd send it. Got an additional 2 infantry units. I really should have had these guys taking cover up here, these infantry squads. Did not think of that. So let's move these other 2 up there. The vehicles are in good shape. Our vehicles really... Oh, and here we go. This is what I was talking about. See this on the map? Bombing run. Bombers coming in, and they look like they're on a vector, on a straight line, coming right for our position here. So what I'm going to do is tell everyone to stop taking cover. I'm going to pull everyone back right here. And I'm going to double right click so that they do it quickly. And then I'm going to sell these 2 turrets. Everybody run, 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 run. Quickly, quickly, quickly. That infantry might not make it. Okay, everybody made it. All of our forces made it out. Ooh, okay, there looks like there is not an infantry turret down here, or build pad down here. We'll try to get this infantry squad back, and then all of these guys will bring back up here, and we'll make this our new holding location. Tell this infantry to take cover, and do I turn this into a repair platform? Probably, frankly. Get the AACs up here to take out these incoming infantry units, and then the AATs to take out these guys on the hill. Oh man, did that not... Ah, they destroyed that. Dang it. Yeah, so that's a risk when you're trying to build a build pad and it's under assault, is the enemies might destroy it, and now we've lost our 150 credits or whatever we spent on it. Yeah, 150 credits is what we would have spent. So now we've got to wait. Unfortunate. AACs, let's get you guys a little farther forward. You can kind of sally out and maybe take some of the heat off of these infantry squads that are up front. Yeah, go ahead and get that, and now we can build the repair pad back. AACs, go ahead and pull back. Actually, see if you can deal with those guys on the hill, because they are annoying me to no end. And then, yeah, pull this guy back. Okay, this is fine. We got now infantry coming up from the other direction. Let's get this T-1B anti-air, but has some anti-infantry capabilities as well. This infantry squad take cover. These infantry can move forward. This repair pad is doing wonders keeping these AACs alive. And let's move this infantry up. Now the next thing I'm most concerned about, the next thing I'm worried about, is their orbital bombardment, because they're going to have a turbo laser that they're going to be able to hit us with soon. I do not want them to do that, but it's going to be a good option for them. Okay, and hear that? We just got the alert that the enemy bombardment is ready. I'm actually thinking here that I will disperse our vehicles and keep our infantry concentrated around these turrets here. So we'll grab all the infantry, Control A, grab all the infantry, put them down behind these anti-infantry turrets, and then all vehicles we're going to sally out and see if we can maybe do some hit and runs as they send infantry into these locations, into our base and such. And with the vehicles on the move, hopefully if they call in a bombardment while those vehicles are in the move, they won't get all of them. We can keep them, as I say, kind of dispersed. In fact, I'm going to turn around and try to hit some of this infantry from the different angles here. And let's just disperse these. Whoa, hello, that's a big cluster of tanks. Let's back up. Back up over the water and come down here to the south. Definitely relying on our hovering capabilities here to hit and run. AATs, you can pull on back. AACs, go on ahead. We'll try to grab this guy who's damaged. Run him up here to get repaired. Even by a roundabout way, perhaps. And send this AAC up. Yep, okay, they did employ their bombardment, because that, see that lighting up effect on the screen? I don't actually know what they chose to hit. That should fade here in a second. Yeah, you see that? I don't actually know what they hit, so that's a good sign. That means they probably didn't hit anything that we super cared about. So that's a great sign. With that in mind, I'm going to move this infantry mostly up a little bit. Let's move these guys up near this repair pad, and they can pitch in dealing with this infantry and supporting these vehicles. Meanwhile, these vehicles, okay, so that gives us that buys us a little bit of time, a little bit of breathing room before their next bombing run is ready. That's going to be the next item of concern for us. This infantry move on up. I think we might have this in the bag, you guys. We may have successfully defended this planet. So we talk about offensive being the key to warfare. You got to seize the initiative, right? The best offense is a good defense and all that jazz. Oop, run away. We're going to lose a couple vehicles there. That's unfortunate. I wasn't paying attention in that direction and ran them into a couple of anti-vehicle turrets. Yep, just lost an AEC and a T-1B. Oh well. What can we do? They're technically free. The only thing we lose from losing them is the combat capability in this fight. But they are technically not really a loss to us in the grand scheme of things. We just are gonna, oh, and there we go. We force a retreat. Okay, awesome. So yeah, normally the best defense is a good offense, but in this case, the best defense was a good defense. So we ended up spending a little bit of money on some turrets and stuff, but we ended up keeping the planet as well. And now we've got this Maldrude fleet kind of trapped here over Tynna, and they're not able to do anything, not able to leave. I'm thinking I will keep them trapped there. One other thing I'm thinking I'll do is come to Bothawai and queue up a Bothan spy, and we'll send them to Druckenwell to see if it's feasible for us to execute this breaking supply lines mission, because we would get some free ships from that. But with that, I was going to move Nance over to Bomis Kori. Let's keep... yeah, we'll keep Sov's little fleet over Sunraf 6. And there's a Dauntless that I was thinking of putting in Ackbar's fleet just to bolster that, make it even stronger. And then with that in, I think I will go ahead and come up and smack this Tynna fleet. Yeah, let's do that. So as soon as the Dauntless gets in,
construction complete.
Do I want an enemy fleet is about to invade Bajik? From where? Oh, from Naboo. Interesting. Okay, so they've split their Naboo fleet. They had about 60 pop cap over Naboo. We're going to lose Bajik, which, you know, second time in the campaign, what else is new? But with that being a much weaker fleet, I would feel extremely confident sending Sov over to Naboo. And we can eliminate the rest of their forces and take out the space stations that they have in orbit and make that a really easy fight. So did we get that Dauntless? Yes. Ackbar's fleet is 255. Fantastic. Let's set a Pathfinder, and we will send these guys straight in to eliminate this medium-sized, bordering on large-size fleet over Tynna. Okay. Going ahead and continuing. And I am building this additional defensive army that I've started building up. I am going to turn that eventually into a second offensive army. Maybe something Han and Chewie deploy with and lead, doing that with a few more ground vehicles and tanks and so forth on Sullust that I'm going to put with it. But Sov is going to be able to punch this Naboo fleet nice and hard.
We've located the enemy.
I anticipate no issues winning this fight whatsoever. Yeah, because they've just got the carrier and a couple of small ships. So with that, I will still be a little cautious because, you know, I've learned, especially with these small squishy ships, these don't lie, double dauntless, I don't know, however you would pluralize that one. These dauntlesses are pretty good ships, but they still are not as durable as like an Imperial Star Destroyer, so I want to keep them a little bit safe, a little bit farther back here. I'm going to leave the Interdictor out of this fleet because if they want to retreat before I have to destroy all their stations, I will allow that. I will tell all of my combat ships, everything that's not a Quasar, to start working on this carrier. And all of my fighters for now, you guys can come on in and start to take out their bombers. I'll turn on the sensor jamming for this Dauntless here. And these guys, these Liberators, are going to park off of here and maybe take out these Carracks or something as they flank. Okay, yeah, this is good. We're in good shape here. Assault Frigates and Liberators, go ahead and move on up and start engaging those Dreadnoughts. We'll get Sov up to engage the Dreadnought, and then we'll have this Dauntless work on these Carracks. Fighters and Bombers are fine. Fighters and Bombers mostly focus on taking out their Fighters and Bombers. I'll send my point defense ships over to help out these Assault Frigates. Let's turn on powered shields on this Assault Frigate, and we'll have you guys start working on this goal in 1. Sov, you can move up. Dauntless, you can move up. Having a bit of a hard time hitting these small Carracks with these larger weapons on these Dauntlesses. But, you know, we'll get it. We'll get them worn down eventually. Assault Frigates go ahead. Yeah, our Liberator here is taking some heat. It's okay though, we're not going to lose the ship, which is mostly what I care about. This Dauntless, I need you to get up here. And then with their fighters and bombers pretty much cleared out, we've got our point defense ships defending this set here from this set of bombers. Let's get our fighters and bombers back and have them start working on this larger Golan. Golan 2, it looks like that is. I'll have this assault frigate move out of range of these heavy weapons, and I think I'll expect my fighters and my bombers to soften it up a bit, as opposed to softening it up a bit. With Admiral Sov here, LOL. Oh, come on, frigate, turn faster. Start moving faster. Get out of there before they take out your engines. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, dang it, engine is down. It's okay, it's within range of the tenders now. This guy will have you... Okay, didn't mean to move him quite so far up within range of this Golan, so we'll move Sov up to help. And we'll move our point defense up here as well. Assault frigate, is this the time? Do I need to... well, for one thing, I might need to bring these A-wings back to help intercept some of these bombers, because their bombers are doing a number on us on this little fleet that we have here. Yeah, that's fine. Sov, I want you to come in this direction, and we'll send this Liberator in this direction as well. Kind of try to concentrate our fire a bit more than we are on this Golan. And I want to pull away so that this Golan's proton torpedoes are not able to range us quite so easily. We'll get our Group 1 ships, our small ships, point defense and so forth, up. And we'll pull these guys up a little bit farther on the back line as well. Dauntless, move out. Sov, move out. Yeah, I really want to stay out of range of this Golan's weapon systems if I can. This assault frigate can move up and start helping against this Golan. Let's get out of there, and then these two damaged guys will keep you in the back line as well. Got to try to split up the damage here with Dauntless and this, with this Dauntless and with Sov, targeting different hard points. Really would like Sov as well, and I've done it again. I've moved a ship right in range of that second Golan's weapons again. It's okay, that assault frigate's shields should hold in this case. Yeah, it should be fine. I'll actually have this Liberator turn around, and I want to start working on these point defense frigates. These Lancers are what these are called, and they are quite good for point defense. Want to start taking them down so our bombs and our fighters are a little more effective. Sov, you're good. Yep, our fighters and our bombers are doing a good job. Let's retask our A-wings and make sure they're going after any fighters that are potentially giving our bombers a hard time. And we have another squad of Y-wings back here, and X-wings too. Take all fighters and bombers and have them do the same thing, start softening up this Golan. Now this is a Golan 3, so that's going to be even harder to crack than that Golan 2 was. We should be okay though, we should be able to do it, especially if we're patient and let our bombers go to work, and especially as we've eliminated most of these point defense frigates that are in the area. And I've totally forgotten I have a whole other Marauder cruiser here, so let's get him up, and we'll just keep these ships, all these ships really, here where they're at, recharge some shields on the larger ships, The small ships are doing a good job in point defensing away these proton torpedoes that are incoming from the Golans. That's why these point defense ships, don't ignore them, man. These Nebulons, these CR-90s, they are super valuable. Yeah, there's their point defense there for the enemy. Yeah, every fleet needs some anti-fighter and point defense ships, like we've got with these Nebulon Bs. Okay. Alright, shields are going down, but not super quickly on this station here. I'm thinking, ooh, let's pull you within range of the tending, actually. That's 100% not where you're supposed to be. If you circle around. And you, kind of the same deal. This CR-90 here.
Cruiser reporting.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll still stay put here. We'll send this Y-Wing in. They are still, yep, shields and all that are still up. A-Wing, go after this set of TIE fighters, please, if I can actually get the click in. There we go. And we've got some more fighters still spawning in. These heavy bombers are going to be useful, these H-Wings. Come on, guys, you got to get the TIE fighters. Let's go ahead and hit your sensor jamming, too. Not that the TIE fighters have a ton of guided munitions you can send at us, but we're thinking about. Okay, and we've cleared their fighters off the map. This is a slower fight, and not quite as easy as I was expecting. I didn't realize quite how built up the Naboo space stations were, and this little force is barely enough. So it just goes to show, right, you need a significant amount of force, and maybe some overwhelming force in order to be effective. Oh, and Sov's starting to take some heat, too. Okay, we gotta move in and see if we can start taking down some of these weapons, especially these weapons that are targeting Sov, because we do not want to lose him, no matter what. Hit our sensor jamming, and Sov, you can move in, I guess. I know you're a little hurt. We'll try to keep you within range of the tenders, but we'll split up the targeting for the weapons that are on this side of the space station. I will actually avoid targeting the proton torpedo launchers that are putting out a lot of damage, because we're actually destroying them and or countering them with our own point defense, so that should be fine. Sov should be fine. Let's get the assault frigate up here. You're actually my healthiest ship that I have left, and we'll tell these two liberators to go power to weapons and try to split up their targeting between the different turbo laser turrets, turbo laser batteries that are doing damage to our big ships. Okay. So as long and kind of drawn out as this little fight has been, it being set with between such small fleets, I do think those kinds of fights are interesting. I do enjoy those, because normally, like, once you get built up in this mod to big fleet stacks, it's just smashing big fleets against each other. But I feel like when you're going a little fleet against even a medium-sized fleet or medium-sized defenses, makes you be a lot more careful. So that was a pretty carefully managed battle, and I don't think we've lost anything significant yet. So yeah, pretty much the best, right? Greatest? No, not really. Still make a lot of mistakes, and there's the retreat. Would have been nice if they retreated before, you know, I sweated and just about killed myself trying to get that Golan down. Yeah, didn't get the placement on the ships quite right, but no losses. We were successful, even with a small fleet. Took the more formidable than expected defenses over Naboo. With that, I still don't think this army is ready for prime time, so I'm going to snag this army here. Oh, and there's the Bajik fight. That's okay. It looks like they just sent a precursor carrier, a couple support ships down to Bajik. Nothing we can really do about that with the really small space station there, but that's okay. We'll go back and clean up that system. That's not a system that's going to yield a ton for us anyway, and it's actually going to help our infrastructure score to lose that system right now, funny enough, because now it's not a partially filled, not built up star system anymore. We will still use our primetime defensive army, or not a defensive army, offensive army. Oh, and there's our fight at Tynna, which I kind of forgot I had queued up. Okay, this one is going to be a little hairier, and I'm a little bit scared. We're 255 versus 180 as far as fleet op cap goes. We have nice big home one with Ackbar's nice chunky command bonus. I'm wondering, are they going to move forward, or are they going to stay camped here? Because if they maneuver on like one side of this debris field, we might be able to hyperspace in on the other side and isolate them. or hyperspace in on the backside.
Copy that.
Let's take this DP-20 and let's see if we can get them to chase him kind of around. And if we can split their forces in some way around this debris field, we can defeat part of this fleet before we have to deal with the other part. Potentially, right? This might not end up working out. And wow, look at those fighters. That's so many. Good gravy.
Acknowledged.
Hurry up, DP-20. Let's get around here. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. They're kind of conga lining single file around this debris field. I'll still try to get this DP-20 around, although it is going to start taking some heat from their fighters and their bombers. Yeah, shields are starting to go down. Okay, DP-20, keep going. Might actually bring in a CR-90 to help you and provide some point defense, because I would rather not lose that ship if I don't have to. It's a very small ship, would be cheap to replace, but also
I copy, sir.
I'd rather not replace it in the first place. So yeah, that CR-90 is going to be providing some of that point defense. These guys potentially might start turning around. Or are they just going to chase me? Okay, this could work actually. Looks like they're just going to chase me all the way around this debris field, and it looks like we are going to lose that DP-20, which is unfortunate. CR-90 is not able to get close enough to provide adequate support against the guided munitions, the bombs, and so forth that these fighters are strafing. So small scale battle so far is resulting in some interesting things, interesting outcomes. One of the interesting outcomes we've got going on here is we've got this Victory Star Destroyer just charging through the debris, so that's interesting. And we also have pulled off many of their fighters chasing us here. And I'm not really mad about that. What I'm thinking here, so yeah, I'll just fast forward for a minute so that the formation of Star Destroyers can do what it's going to do. What I'm thinking, and now they're quite split up. They've got these couple of VSDs. Their shields are down because they charged through the asteroids, so that's awesome. I'm thinking I'm actually going to hyperspace in behind these guys, and we'll have the advantage that the bulk of their weapons will not be pointed at us. So I'm going to send an Ackbar right here, and we're going to see what kind of damage we can do, and if we can have a little bit of an advantage because their weapons are not going to be pointed in our direction. So Ackbar, come on in. We'll bring in Farlander as well right next door, and then our MC-80s, our brand new Dauntless here. We'll bring in a couple of Quasars in the back line to provide that anti-fighter support, and then fill in with the rest of these medium-sized ships like we do. Again, am I a little repetitive in the way that I play? Perhaps, but it definitely has been working okay so far, and I see pretty good results in general when I play on my own. So I'm actually going to split up our small ships in 2 groups, each with a tender, and the question is, do I bring in the interdictor? And I'm thinking no. I think we can do enough damage, and I'm not going to get greedy at this point. I'd rather not get greedy. I will toggle. Oh, actually, you know what? Never mind. Haven't destroyed enough. I would like to destroy more. So let's bring in the interdictor real quick, and hopefully it will get in, and we can tell it to start its gravity well generator. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, Farlander, move up. All you guys, and we just canceled that retreat. So now they have no choice but to stay and fight us. That is great. We've got, let's see, Farlander, you can go ahead and pivot and start working on that VSD. We have lost, I'm afraid. Oh, we still have this DP-20. That is wild. That is actually crazy. Okay, you guys are just going to charge straight up the map as fast as you can, chasing or running away from those fighters, and hopefully they can stay away from that Victory Star Destroyer, because that does have weapons that would be able to end both of them quite quickly. Okay, so we've got good things happening here. Ackbar, start working on the Star Destroyer, please. And this Dauntless will have you toggle your jamming field. This MC-30 will have you toggle your jamming field as well, because we've got missiles coming in at us from this Victory 1. Okay, this is going okay. This is going okay. This assault frigate, I want you working on that Victory Star Destroyer while Farlander finishes this one on off. I'm probably duplicating up on orders that I've issued, but I'm feeling a little paranoid right now, a little bit anxious, because I'd rather not lose anything in this fight, as I've said. And we'll focus this grouping of ships against their front Star Destroyer here. Okay, Farlander, start working on this ship there. We'll toggle this MC-40's power to shields, and we'll tell Ackbar to draw the fire to the extent that he can.
Try and draw their fire.
Yes, you will try to draw their fire. We'll get this group of smallish ships to finish off the VSD, including the MC-30, and we'll have Farlander move up and start helping to tank a little more of the damage. Meanwhile, I have not given any orders to our fighters whatsoever. We have a fair number of them. The Y-Wings and the H-Wings are going to come in and start trying to soften up this other Imperial Star Destroyer that is coming in, and I may have a couple of B-Wings kicking around as well. Looks like just the one squadron of B-Wings. Send you in that direction too. Yeah, Ackbar doing work. These guys doing work on this front Star Destroyer. That's almost down. Not super scared. We'll pivot Ackbar over to start softening the shields on this Star Destroyer as well. Farlander, you can get up and help. Take out those heavy ion cannons. And it looks like we did lose that CR-90 and that DP-20. I would be surprised if we lose anything else in this fight, though. Famous last words, I know. And we have totally wiped out their fighter advantage, basically. So I'll tell all fighters and bombers to go for the Star Destroyer, and I'll get Rogue Squadron to target this last unit of bombers that I see kicking around. But, okay, this is looking good. I mean, that looks good. That nice Home 1 type lighting up the Star Destroyer, and that Star Destroyer getting, wow, absolutely pounded from so many angles. That is cool. That's really cool. Fighters and bombers, don't rest on your laurels, please. Start working on this incoming Star Destroyer, Victory Star Destroyer. The Greater Maldrude is interesting because they get these special red VSDs, so a Crimson Victory 2 Star Destroyer is a buildable option for them. It basically just does a little more damage. I think it has slightly different stats than a standard Victory Star Destroyer. Yeah, you can start working on that. So losses for this battle should just be the DP-20 and the CR-90 that we brought in at the beginning. I think that's worth it for what we were able to take out here. Not completely a lossless victory, which is always the goal, but I think that was worth it. Gave us that maneuvering advantage where all of our larger, higher value, harder to replace ships were a lot safer because of that. Nice. Great success against that Maldrude force. Okay, so now the question kind of becomes, what do we do?
Construction complete.
Oh, that pause didn't actually work, so let's try that to get that to work. One thing I want to do is come over to Sullust, and I want to queue up a boarding shuttle. These are super fun. This is a way that the New Republic can steal ships from other factions. I think it's going to be pretty cool if we can start stacking our faction with Star Destroyers and things that we can steal from the Empire when we fight them in fleet battles that are advantageous to us. So I'm going to go ahead and queue one of those up. Also going to come over to Bomus Corey. Or Vondark, actually. Let's do it over Vondark where we have the discount and queue up a trade port in space there. And then with Tynna, here's the question. Do I bring this fleet back and use it to supplement and almost get to full strength Ackbar's fleet? Or do I send this little fleet over here to Bothawai to help out in the defensive space over Bothawai? That's the answer that I'm inclined to do, actually, is build up. And I know I've got multiple little tiny... Oh, an enemy fleet is about to invade Sphybran. Why? And from where? And why? You can't do anything, Empire. Are you just ricocheting through my worlds because just for the heck of it? Because that is annoying as heck. Dang it. Yeah, so the Empire now is kind of doing what I've been doing to them. They're raiding. But I guess there's nothing we can do about it except grab Nance here, who has a random ground vehicle in his fleet, so that's kind of aggravating. Pause that, and let's take Nance's fleet up to attack Yag'Dhul before it gets too much stronger. And then, yeah, there's that that Galactic Empire Precursor fleet. We will have to... I'll cancel this construction on the Golan 1 and auto-resolve that because there's nothing we can do to fight. It's just the basic starbase again. And... we're bringing in our ground army. I don't want to split up this fleet anymore, actually. So we're going to leave this ground army here with... Is there a ship here that can Oh, a Liberator. Awesome. With just a single Liberator, because the Liberator can provide the orbital bombardments and the bombing runs, and then we'll take Sov's fleet to chase down that Precursor fleet before it can do any other damage, hopefully. So let's grab them. Would rather not lose any more space stations. Hapes Consortium, busting out of the Hapes cluster, has taken Oberon Sky and Kashyyyk, so Emberline is now cut off from the rest of the Greater Maldruid planets. That is very interesting. I think I'm going to leave Ackbar's fleet here. I will move it over Chardaan. Oh, well, and look at that. What fortunate timing, because an enemy fleet is about to invade Chardaan. That's got to be an Imperial fleet coming from Follis. So we'll see how that does. And then in the meantime, Nance's fleet is about to get to Yag'Dhul.
Tactical battle.
I was hoping to take Yag'Dhul this episode. Maybe I'll make it a little bit longer episode and we'll get an army up there to make that conquest.
The enemy is approaching.
Actually, yeah, our secondary army should be great for this because Yag'Dhul is still very lightly defended on ground. At least it was last time I checked. So we've got 3 Victory Star Destroyers. That should be no real contest for Nance, although they're going to have a lot of damage, but we should be able to break them relatively quickly as well. Let's bring in our Quasar. Let's bring in our support ships that we have, to the extent that we have them so far. Bring in our tenders,
Acknowledged.
our little ships. Bring in all the things, right? And then, likewise to what we did in the last battle, I will bring in the Interdictor right from the start, actually, so a little bit different than what we did last time. I'll bring in the Interdictor right from the start, so that they are not even able to attempt to retreat.
Reporting.
Oh boy. Liberator taking some heat there. Nance, though, already doing some good work, so I will switch his fire. We got the front 2 victory shields down already. I will switch Nance's fire to start working on the one that is still shielded. This Calamari frigate can, and this one can help take down this Victory Star Destroyer. And then these assault frigates can finish off this one. And I will go power to weapons on this assault frigate. We've got our point defense ships doing point defense things, intercepting missiles. This Liberator is going to start losing some hard points, but it's okay. We're going to take out this threatening Victory Star Destroyer before too long. Nance, you can just keep working on this victory here. And yeah, our fighters are mixing up with their fighters. They are sending some bombers in, but that happens to be right in range of our point defense. You are getting healed, you little CR-90, so that's great. Okay, and now we can send Nance in his big tanky ship to take out that Golan pretty much by himself. We'll send him in first, so that the other ships with less shields aren't as threatened. We'll get this Liberator up and get it within range of the tender to start healing. This battle is pretty much won just with Nance. Yeah, they don't really have any bombers left. Nance, you can get even closer, please, so your weapons are a little more effective. A little closer. They've got a couple Carracks here. Let's send our medium-sized ships back to deal with those Carracks specifically. This Liberator can move into. Fighters and bombers are still working on chasing down some of their fighters and bombers. I'm not really worried they don't have any bombers on the field, so I'll send all of my fighters and bombers back to start softening up the shipyard. And then this grouping of ships here, basically all of our small ships, will have clean up behind Nance, clean up these frigates. Okay, and then Nance will be able to, with the fighter support, will be able to take down that shipyard just fine. We are in good shape. I've once again forgotten to bring my little Pathfinder Marauder up to join us in the actual fight. Not going to be that big of a deal. We have won. Excellent. Okay, so that's the space over Yag'Dhul. Go ahead and return to Galactic Map. And since they are so lightly defended, they don't have any units on the ground. All they have is a planetary capital and a tax agency. This would be a great application for my small ground force with Han and Chewie in charge of it. And there's Bijik. For some reason it sent us there. We should be able to... I almost clicked that auto-resolve because it's just a basic space station. But don't want to risk it. Don't want to risk losing with this small fleet. We've seen how this small task force struggles even against even basic defenses sometimes. So we'll play it safe. And by safe, I mean we'll just eat our dauntlesses in But as I've said before, and as you guys have kind of seen already, auto-resolve is quite punishing to the player, and will, in my experience, will cause you to lose things that you would not have otherwise lost. If you just auto-resolve every battle, like, you have to have pretty well overwhelming odds in order to get auto-resolve to come out realistically and giving you a lossless victory when you would otherwise be able to achieve a lossless victory. Okay, there's that XQ5, so there's Bijik back to us, right? The year is 5 ABY, month 7, but we've just reconquered Bijik, you know, once again. And then we'll send Slav's fleet. Oh, hello. Okay, so we're not holding Chardaan, at least not in space. That is bonkers. The Empire's already sending a fleet of 452 PopCap. Gee whiz. With a big interdictor Star Destroyer. Okay, so this just turned into a really interesting, really challenging fight. Oh boy, they've got 2 admirals, Rogers, who's a tier 7, and Brashin, who's a tier 10. That's crazy. That is such a good bonus. That's almost on par with Ackbar's bonus. And he's in a Star Destroyer. These are both in Star Destroyers. So a lot of Star Destroyers, a lot of triangle ships going to be coming at us. We have some defensive stations. We have the capital shipyard. Oh boy, I don't think we're going to be able to win this, and I'm more inclined to preserve Ackbar's fleet than I am to try to like, heroically last stand this. That being said, we do have some really big space stations, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm so scared. Let's get our Quasars back in the back line. Let's get our interdictor back in the very back line. That'll be the last thing that they get to if they get through to us. Ackbar, we will, I guess, have you no, I would really like to turn you around, although you're going to be very slow doing it. We'll send pretty much all the rest of our ships back to occupy the space between the space stations. And yeah, this is just crazy. This is going to be nuts. I am not looking forward to this fight. Yeah, everybody else, you guys can just pull back in this direction. Ackbar, do that long, slow turnaround. They do have, yeah, this interdictor is going to be our primary thing that we want to take down. In fact, I'm thinking one good thing is they are not going to have a ton of fighters, some spawning out of these Star Destroyers, but not tons. And we have the fighter command bonus from Farlander, the Star Destroyer here with the fighter specialist, and then we have Rogue Squadron, and so I think, wow, that is still a lot of fighters though, but we're going to be getting some point defense in, and that's nice to have. We have these defensive forces that just spawned in from the shipyard, so I'll grab all of those and I'll set those all to command group 2. These are like our expendable defense forces. And did you spawn in as a... Yeah, you're a defensive garrison as well. So I'm going to pull you guys back here a little closer. Let's get all of our fighters and bombers forward. And I'm going to just send them in to start tussling. Oh, wow, why did this MC-80 spawn so far ahead? That's super strange. I'm going to send these guys up to start tussling with their interdictor here. I will be a little more specific. We'll get Rogue Squadron and we'll get our A-Wings to start engaging this cloud of bombers that's coming at us, because that is quite a few bombers. Okay, so really our primary objective is take down... Yeah, it's annoying that MC-80 spawns so far forward. We are going to have a hard time. I mean, that's a useless ship to us, right? It's not in the right place. They just picked it apart with concentrated fire from many Star Destroyers. Okay. Yeah, we're going to keep our real ships back, the ones we paid for, including, you know, Ackbar, who we started with. Going to keep him back. And yeah, we got to get this interdictor down. We can try to take out a few ships, see what kind of damage we can do after we take the interdictor down, but with that gravity well generator online, that is going to make it so we can't retreat at all. I am going to take our spawn ships. So we have this big space station, this Empress, that is actually healing our ships nearby, providing a small healing buff, which is great news. Okay, we have taken out the gravity well generator on this interdictor, which is fantastic. I will have our fighters continue to dogfight up here. We'll get our A-Wings up and have them go after individual bomber squadrons, because that's what I'm most concerned with. Get this A-Wing squadron to go after this. Okay, it's TIE Defender as well. And as far as concentrating fire, we might actually have an opportunity to kill their heroes. They brought their heroes forward, and I think if we go after Brashen first, Brashen is only getting a tier 7 bonus from Rogers being in the battle, and every other unit is getting Brashen's tier 10 bonus. So Brashen actually makes the most sense for us to engage first because he's going to be taking the most damage. I'll have our space station start going after him, and I will actually turn around our free garrison units and have them start going for him as well. And honestly, if we can eliminate this Interdictor Star Destroyer, which is why I'm keeping the bombers on it, maybe I should be pulling the bombers back, but I would love to eliminate this so it's not a problem in future battles. If we can take out this Interdictor completely with the bombers, and then take out these two heroes, I'll consider that worth it. I think it'll be absolutely worth it to retreat after we do that. I'll turn on power to weapons in these free garrison units again, and assign some slightly more individual targets. Yeah, like I say, would not mind killing the Interdictor Star Destroyer entirely, because then I wouldn't have to fight it in this fleet in a future battle. So right now, if we fight this fleet again, the Interdictor will just be magically healed. It'll come back fixed between battles. I would rather that not happen. So yeah, I think that's going to be our objectives: kill the Interdictor, kill these two heroes, and then we'll retreat. We've already lost many of our garrison units. Our engine is down. Alert warning. But we've also got Brashen largely attritted. I will grab all these guys and have them start working on him as well. Probably should have done that before. Ackbar is, I think, fine where he is. Maybe? I don't know, should I have brought Ackbar in to tank? Really, we're relying on the stations to tank, and if there's one unit I want to get out of this fight, it is Ackbar. Ackbar and Farlander are like our can't lose these guys, can't lose these units. Bring this MC-30 up a little bit. But yeah, all of their units are going to die really slow and do tons of damage to us if we don't take Brashen down ASAP. That's these little M. Moncal frigates telling me that they're in trouble. So it goes, right? You, stop charging forward. I don't want you up there too so far. And this assault frigate is not a free one. We are probably going to end up losing them because for some reason they're like, yes, this assault frigate specifically must die. High priority target for Imperial national security. Let's switch Farlander's fire to Rogris. We still have this full station doing good work. Okay, and I think we just blew up their Interdictor. Yeah, that's the Interdictor totally destroyed, so that's great. That's a really important objective achieved. I'm going to grab all fighters and bombers and tell them to start focusing fire and making some attack runs on, I guess, this Star Destroyer up here, the command refit. Okay, great. Which is exceedingly rare configuration of standard ISD-1. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's send the fighters and bombers after that. Again, I gave the batch order, the bulk attack order to the all fighters and bombers. Wow, Porky Pig there. I will have Rogue Squadron and our A-Wings actually go after this fighter hero. And we'll do the same with these A-Wings. But that's great. That's one hero almost down. We still have a big space station online, and that's both heroes down. Okay, awesome. Terran Rogers has escaped the battle. Can't this thing go any faster? I'd like to survive long enough to be demoted for this failure. Well, that is a fair consideration and a fair preference for you to have, Mr. Rogers. So we might end up seeing him again on the galactic map, but that is cool. That is great that we were able to take those two heroes down. We'll have this Moncal frigate shift fire to this acclimator. Actually, we'll have all of our garrison ships, which we still have a fair number. We'll have all of them shift fire to this Star Destroyer, and then we'll have Home 1 shift fire to this Star Destroyer. This big starbase, our Empress here, we'll have them start working on this starbase as well. And then I will still keep back a little farther our main units here, because I'm still anticipating to have to retreat. Unless, of course, they don't bring in any reinforcements. That is... Oh, there. Nope, there they come. Those are the reinforcements. Okay, with... Yeah, all those additional Star Destroyers in their reinforcement pool, I don't think we're going to be able to win this fight straight out.
I am ready for your orders.
Ackbar, yeah, you work on this Star Destroyer here. We have broken the shields on this here Star Destroyer and taken out a lot of its hard points already. So I'm going to take our fighter and bomber Cloud. These X-Wings do some damage against fighters, against shields and large capital ships too. So it's not useless to have them involved in these bombing runs. I'm going to have them shift and start working on probably this Star Destroyer over here. I don't know, that is a question. Can I hold out and just defeat this fleet outright? Be a lot cooler if I could. We still have full shields almost and full hull points on this large Empress space station. Golan, you are not really within range of anything useful. We'll have our remaining garrison units, which again I've assigned to Command Group 2. We'll have them help finish off this Star Destroyer. Ackbar starting to take some hits. Nothing crazy going on here. Duking it out with this Star Destroyer. Still got Farlander chilling back here, doing good work. We'll get our garrison units to target this victory now. We still have this MC-80 Liberty, which is kind of useful. Pull this little Mon Cal frigate back and tell this Golan to target that Acclimator. Oh boy, this is so exciting. This is a zesty little fight, you guys. I was not anticipating this to happen to us at all today, but wow, what a day. They've got 2 Star Destroyers up close with full shields and health. I'll tell the space station to work on the Star Destroyer here that's partially up, because I think that's going to be most efficient bang for our buck there. And we'll get the space station to assist, I guess, start trying to break the shields on this Star Destroyer, and we'll tell our fighters and bombers, again, kind of box selecting this cloud of fighters and bombers, we'll tell them to start going for the Star Destroyer that's still fully shielded and starting to poke its way into the battle. Still keeping Farlander back and relatively safe. I'm thinking we might be able to win this, you guys. Like, win this straight up. They've brought in, so they still have these 2 fresh Star Destroyers on the back lines, but I think we might be able to pull this off. Our space stations still have full health. Our regular fleet that we started this fight with is completely intact. Haven't really lost anything in it. Ackbar is still intact. I'm going to move Ackbar up with Farlander. And with really just this massive fighter cloud, getting a big bonus from Farlander's fighter hero bonus, whatever we call that, the starfighter specialist. I think we're in good shape, to be completely honest. I do want to grab, that's a DP-20. Okay, so we've probably lost a DP-20 or 2, not the end of the world. Nebulon Bs. And let's assign some point defense ships to help take out Sunterfell, this fighter hero that they have here, because that'll be really effective. Our A-wings have him pinned down right now, but don't really want him getting fully involved in the fight. And Ackbar, start doing work on this fully shielded Star Destroyer back here. Starbase, you can take out this Tector Star Destroyer, and we'll have Farlander, I guess, help out against this fully shielded Star Destroyer. And we're finally about to lose this heroic MC-80. This guy has done work for us. Ooh, okay, we still have the 2 MC-80s that we started the battle with. Okay, let's get them and the Dauntless up, our chunky ships that we have remaining in the battle. Let's get them up. Ackbar, I want you to go up even farther, and because we have this interdictor, they can't leave. Oh my gosh, they're gonna lose this. They brought in a Star Destroyer as a reinforcement clear back here. That they're not even gonna be able to mass their forces effectively against us, the forces they have remaining. Oh my gosh, guys, we're gonna pull this off. So again, I talked about the best offense is a good, or the best defense is a good offense. But this is now going to have been 2 successful defenses for us that I didn't think we would win in this episode. Huge success though, tremendously successful. Turns out a good defense is also a good defense, so don't pay attention to your defensive capabilities as well when you're playing this game, right? This is crazy. I had no idea. What a massive win for the New Republic, and we didn't even end up losing this assault frigate that I thought we would completely lose out on. Awesome. Okay, we'll get all of our ships to sally forth now. We have clearly an overwhelming advantage just by nature of Ackbar's command 11, command tier 11. That gives us a huge benefit, plus all the other bonuses we have stacked. We're gonna be fine. I was super nervous for the planet of Chardaan, but we're gonna be fine. Incredible.
What do you suggest?
Sorry, I'm just blown away.
Yes, sir.
Who would have guessed? And this Star Destroyer, unfortunately, we are going to have to chase that Star Destroyer down ourselves. We'll send our large ships back, start sending the large ships back to chase it. We'll get all of our fighters and bombers
That's it. Reporting. Scratch one.
to run back there and soften it up, except, again, with the exception of Wedge. They still have one fighter here, the Sinterfell. So I'm going to leave Wedge here fighting them, and where's some A-Wings? Going to have all of our A-Wings attack him as well. And we'll keep our small ships back behind, keep them safe. No need running them overconfidently into the weapons of a Star Destroyer that's just going to focus down like our weakest ship. And we might not end up losing anything technically except for those garrison ships, which again, not really real ships. Nothing we have to worry about. A-Wings and Rogue Squadron were able to successfully take out that fighter hero, so that's awesome. We can go ahead and fast forward.
That's it. Scratch one.
And take down the shields on that Star Destroyer, take down this little Acclimator cruiser. These things are really cool. I quite like Acclimators as ships. When I'm playing as the Empire, I like to build a lot of those. And technically, I think those are the highest damage per second ships in the mod. Like the highest damage ones that exist. And we are victorious. Oh my gosh, what a defense of Chardaan. Ackbar, with not even a fully built out fleet, took out a fleet almost twice his size with 2 heroes, including a command tier 10. Through AI ineptness and our own efficient use of hero command bonuses and the terrain and our space stations, defensive space stations, and so forth, we were able to successfully defend Chardaan. So, wow, what a win. I'm amazed. Next episode, maybe we'll consider raiding Druckenwell and taking out these freighters with this little fleet over Bothawai, this little task force here. And next episode as well, objective will be to finally take Yag'Dhul, finally eliminate this last little Imperial fleet that's ricocheting merrily through our backlines, and we will decide our next operational objectives from there. So thanks a ton for watching. Hope everyone had a good day. Hope everyone enjoyed the content. I will see you next time.